Good morning. Namaste. Welcome, everyone, and great to be in practice together. We'll start our journey with the chanting of Om. We'll do this 3 times as a group together, getting that sense of collectiveness, togetherness, and then explore a profound vision that yoga presents called Prajna Alokam, the splendor of deep insight, and how we practice that. So that's the inspiration behind the meditation this morning, having a deep insight with reference to the world outside and also the inner world. So before we get to that, let's first start by chanting that sacred syllable, Om. So you can just gently close your eyes, get comfortable in your seat, begin to notice your breath. And taking a deep breath in together, we start the chant. Om. 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 Angikam bhuvanam yasya vachikam sarvavangmayam Aharyam Chandratarati Tam Vande Satvikam Shivam Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Cha Vaidyakena Yopakarut Tat Pravaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranjalimanatosmi Yasmin Sarvam Yadas Sarvam Yas Sarvam Sarvadriktata Sarvabhavapadatitam Bodhanandam Smaramyaham Swatmanandam Smaramyaham Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryan Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahay Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace be, peace be, peace be. May we discover that self, our core being, which has the nature of peace. And may that peace radiate everywhere. Harium. So welcome. We are practicing really what's known as Samyama this morning. Samyama is a technical term that is revealed in a text called Yoga Sutra, a handbook on living, living intelligent, awareful life. Samyama means that you develop this ability as a yogi or practitioner of meditation to allow your attention to rest in one place, dharana. Then your mind has the ability to flow like an unbroken stream in that place of focus, dhyana. If you let the mind flow in that direction, it gives up its grossness. It becomes more subtle reflection, and the space opens up. You become more contemplative. If you stay with that for some time, then what happens is that the light of who you are shines forth. and a deep insight arises from that. So those three together, that concentration, that contemplation, and then that deep self-absorption, that's called samyama. Now, how to practice that may seem a bit confusing or perhaps technical at first, but I would like to make it much simpler and become available for all of us. All of us have that privilege to develop that, what's known as prajnaloka, the ability where we have that deeper insight about the nature of who we are and then the reality of the world outside. So I'm going to take inspiration from another beautiful Upanishad called Katha Upanishad. There's a verse in there where the Rishi says, here's what you do. Prajna, those wise people, what they do is they merge their speech in the mind, and they merge their mind into their intellect. They merge their intellect into the great self, and the great self into the self of peace. This is the pathway. So, what we're going to do is we're going to first get established in our asana, develop a comfortable and steady seat. But then we're going to use our breath with the sound of mantra to help draw our focus into the subtle world, the inner world. That becomes a wonderful anchor to allow our mind to flow steadily inward. So merging the speech with the mind. Once we do that, then it will be much more available for us to start watching the mind. You'll start to notice that there is a great self. That great self is that there's an I welling up in you, a presence of self that's continuous. So then our mind gets drawn or attracted to that. And then as a result, you discover that there's a deeper self, a deep peace or a presence by which the mind is seen. So that recognition of that great, from the great self to that self of peace, is the inspiration for this morning's meditation. So what we do first is we're going to just do a few simple warm-up exercises from our seat that just help keep our shape open before we stay steady. So I'm going to first start by taking in a few deep breaths in through my nose, simply rolling the shoulders up and back. And then as the shoulders come down, letting the breath release. Either just breathing out through the nose or simply opening the mouth, letting the breath slide down the body. So just do that a few times. Deep breath in as you lift the shoulders up and allow them to set back. What's beautiful about the yogic path is there's guidance every step along the way. We don't reject anything. We bring the light of awareness to it. So first we're doing that by acknowledging this body. This body is our temple. Now we're going to practice Tadaka Mudra, which also helps really open up our chest and shoulders. So you can take in a deep breath and raise the arms up, interlacing the fingers, letting those palms reach up, and taking a few deep breaths in your belly here. If you've got the flexibility to, you can also gently tuck the chin to the chest, Jalandhara Bandha, and slowly bring those palms behind the head. This really opens up the chest. Lifting the hands back up, releasing the throat, and a big breath out as you lower the arms back down. Nice. Now, I'll just gently tuck the chin to the chest again, lift the head back to center, and then also let the weight of the head fall back as the chin lifts, opening up that throat space. Back and forth, warming up the whole neck region. 。 . 。 . 。 . Then also taking the head from side to side. I like to let my eyes lead the way and the facial muscles follow. A twist all the way to the right. Perhaps a breath or so as you reach all the way to the right, and then coming back to center all the way to the left. Back to center. Then I'll take the right ear to the right shoulder. Find center. Left ear to left shoulder. So, as you may be noticing, just doing a few simple, awareful movements already starts to change the shape of our mind. So, this is a powerful reminder that if you ever feel that your mind is in maybe more of a dull state or perhaps a more disturbed state, which we all can come to, mind is an instrument that can fall out of balance. So, when you notice that, instead of fighting with your mind, get a little movement going. Maybe take a walk outside, connect with your breath. So, these are just simple truths. Lastly, what I'll do is I'll place my left hand on the right knee, take a big breath in and find some support on the chair or mat, and then exhale, doing a nice spinal twist to the right. Holding for a few breaths, inhaling as you come to center, and switching sides. Big breath in as you reach up to the left. Inhale as you center. So, this is how we work with our mind. Your body's an expression of your mind. So, as we begin to bring that awareness to even just the level of the physical, it's a big deal. It really starts to keep our mind more open and balanced. So, to further get settled in that, now we prepare for our still asana. So, wherever you're at, if you're on the chair, make sure you have your feet firmly on the floor. Or if you're on the mat, that your legs are crossed with a maximum base. And I like to pay a little special attention to my hands, just warming them up a little bit, loosening up the fingers before I place them on my knees. You may take a particular mudra. That's that's okay. A soft lift from the top of the head. Maybe the chin ever so gently tucks in, and then the eyes soften back. And when you're ready, we'll gently begin to close our eyes and move into the inner world. So body is upright, where the head, neck, chest are aligned, following the natural curve of the spine. Your eyes are enjoying taking pause from interacting with the outside world. and receiving the nourishment from within. Hands resting on the knees or lap, body well supported at your base. Sri Krishna in Gita gives a very special teaching on how we enter into this practice of meditation. His instruction is give yourself permission to keep the outside world outside and take pause from playing your outside roles, whether that's as a wife or husband, mother, father, teacher, or student, whatever role that you play. We all play many roles, but give yourself permission to just let those relax and sit down. This way, you become the meditator. You become a person, something deeper. In following that teaching, I also invite you to pose a soft question. Is there something that's bothering me? Maybe it's a particular situation or a conversation with a friend or loved one. Or maybe it's some confusion that I have. Bring the light of compassion to that. Simply allow that to be. It could be my expectation or an unfulfilled desire. As your body begins to relax in this asana, also let that wanting, desiring, controlling self relax. You have all the freedom to pick that back up, but keep it outside for the practice of meditation. You can also cultivate a sense of commitment or reason why you're practicing, for the sake of why you're practicing. And there's no right answer to that. You may practice yoga to enhance your relationships or to refresh yourself, updating your skill set in the workplace, or maybe just manage our body as we grow with age. Whatever your reason is, cultivate that. Center yourself around that commitment. Let it guide you all the way to the self of peace, the presence you are. So, as you begin to relax all effort physically and mentally, you can let the mind begin to observe the whole body held still. Really attend to the edge of the skin pervading the whole body, tapping into that subtle movement. You feel your ability to move, but that you're consciously keeping the body still. And the subtle movement of sensations awaken. In the yogic path, there's no becoming, there's no transforming you, because in the light of yoga, you're ever pure. Nitya Shuchi Sukha Atma. Let that work on you, relaxing all effort. You feel the face soft and open, the various muscles resting down on the bone, though you're still centered and balanced, upright. You can begin to guide your attention to notice your dimension of length, feeling the light above the head, all the way down to your support in the feet or base of your body. Then you notice your width or the sense of space on either side of your body. You may even feel that the shoulder blades open up like a book. That your chest feels more spacious. And that as a human being, you also share this space with all other sentient beings. Then you notice your back, the back side of your body. Let all those who have supported you on your journey ever so softly come to your mind, like an invisible hand supporting you, resting on your back. And then also wearing your potential, the front side of your body, as you move forward with skill. Become aware of the whole front side of your body. And then observe your whole body in one sweeping vision. As an instrument to express the divine, and as the temple or gateway to the Brahman. Part of awakening that prajna, or that splendor of deep insight, is allowing the mind to focus on subtler objects. The most nourishing subtle object, which is so very close to you, is the breath. See if you can ever so softly shift your attention from the physical body to watching your breath. I invite you to practice prana ikranam, which means you're not controlling the breath, but instead you're watching it, noticing its flow, free of judgment. And there will be times, just due to old patterns and habits, our mind will move away, move into different thoughts, mostly memory born. That's okay. You practice meditation or dhyanam by guiding your mind back to flowing with the breath. So your body is upright, eyes watching the inner space, and you're paying special attention to that spontaneous out and in breath. Once you feel comfortable with that, there you can begin to consciously breathe. Make it gentle, first breathing out completely, exhaling as you feel the breastbone gently pull in. Without any pause, you let the belly soften and expand, breathing in naturally. As you become full of breath, you begin to let that in breath merge with the out breath, emptying our vessel. And as you breathe in, welcoming the divine light, a new breath, a new moment, a new life. Spend some time like this, exhaling completely and inhaling naturally. With each out breath, you feel the release of all tension. Let those old memories, distracting or disturbing thoughts, and any physical difficulty, let it go energetically with the breath. Breathe in new life. As a yogi, we have freedom to define, redefine, and also undefine our life script. As you flow with this breath, you're free. You're aware to make new decisions or incorporate the wisdom you've learned from the past. We'll refine this breath even more by paying special attention to the base of the nostrils. Let your mind begin to register the touch as you breathe in. Feel that touch of breath at the nostrils. And as you exhale, feeling the touch at the nostrils. This particular space in our body also has an energetic component of stability. Let your mind enjoy resting in that space. With each breath, you feel the touch of the breath at the nostrils. However, you sense that wave like motion rise up and descend down. But stay with that space. Your facial muscles can still be relaxed. Eyes also enjoying that subtle luminosity within. Body upright. But you're enjoying the stability that you discover or invoke by focusing at the base of the nostrils. The great teacher of yoga, Shiva, says that mind is mantra. We mostly experience our mind as words. But many of those words seem to create more boundaries, more divisions, more limitations for us. As we flow with this breath, we'll introduce a mantra that liberates us. Liberates us means that we discover the self of peace. As you breathe in, see if you can connect your breath by mentally chanting so. As you inhale, you listen to the mantra so. And as soon as you're full of breath, without any pause, you exhale and hear the mantra hum. So hum. You breathe in, hear the mantra so. You let that sound carry to the extent of your inhalation. And then it merges into hum, hearing the sound all the way to the end of your exhalation, merging into so. merging the speech with the mind. Let your breath and mantra flow. So hum. So hum means I am that. I am that self of peace, Shantam. I am true goodness, Shivam. I am non-dual, Advaitam. So you're breathing in with so, exhaling as you mentally chant hum. Breath and mantra are like a continuous wave. Then gently begin to direct your attention to the eyebrow center and release the breath and mantra. Let your identity become deeper as the Sakshi, Sakshi Bhavam. Watch the mind. That luminous space behind the closed eyes. Let your mind follow that mantra into silence. And as you do that, you can begin to deeply reflect on the nature of yourself. You'll notice there's a central thought, which all other thoughts are connected to, which is I, aham. That sense of self, or the great self, always knows its identity with relation to other things. With relation to thoughts, I become a thinker. With relationship to my emotions, I become a feeler. With relationship to my body, I become a doer. But there's a deeper presence that you are, being. Let your mind rest or discover that being, the presence by which you know your mind, beginning with this I thought. It seems that there's nothing there, but in fact, it's everything. That presence is the presence that we all share, and the same presence by which the world emerges, is sustained, and goes back. So you are that. Rest in that being that is peace. You can simply be yourself. Nothing else needs to be done. You are complete. Notice your mind from the standpoint of your being. That being of peace pervades the mind. So wherever mind moves, whatever state the mind is in, It's always overwhelmed by the presence of the light you are, your being. Similarly, become aware of your breath. Feel that your breath is moving in being, like the dust particles you see glimmering in the sunlight as it beams through the window. Feel that your breath is shimmering in the light of the Atman. And feel the Atman's presence pervading your whole physical body. Your body bathed in light. May we live in that light and express that light to all. So, keeping your eyes gently closed, we'll bring our hands to the heart and dedicate this practice to all. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayaha, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhaved. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. And when you're ready, ever so gently, begin to open your eyes. The practice is complete.